Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy King Gabe coming at you here with another rough draft completed of Yumeko in the phone and everything, and probably wondering, hey, don't he usually be in the office when he does these? Somewhat, I guess you say the same, similar location where me and Christina shoot our royal talks there. Well, I'm about to be shooting some toy reviews after this video, so figured I'd just vacate this spot here, do my little rough draft talk here first, and then the toy reviews. So I already have the camera in place for the toy reviews in the area and everything. So here I am, a white background, as you see. almost makes me think of the Nostalgia Critic. Hello, I'm Nostalgia Critic. I remember them, so you don't have to. And today we're going to be talking about a very bad movie. But yeah, had a moment there, white background. He always uses that there most of the time. So, anyway, let's get right on into it there. That way, get on into my other videos and everything. Little recap. We know from the previous issue, Hiko and his friends all in Yumeko, meet up with Brownie, who's been separated from his plush toy friends in the space battle with Penubian, which at one point was Ramon Raban, but now it's been switched to Penubian, since he's kind of who they're dealing with in this particular arc. We're in the last few issues of this first arc here, by the way, starting with issue 8, I'm calling it the Barnhart City arc there, at the moment. That's what I'm calling the first story arc, them having to deal with Penubian in this arc. So yeah, they had, they all, first encounter with him. Brownie had showed up, kids met up with each other, Naomi, Julie, Zayden, Melina, Hiko, of course. Then, there was a discussion about what Yumeko was. Then we got an introduction to Sakura and Damon in one of the issues. Also at the same time of realizing how hyperactive Hiko gets without his medication there. One thing, though, I'm taking Damon out, not out of the series. No, he's not. Damon's not going to be taken out of the series. It's just that appearance that I wrote in, I think it was issue 6. I think it was issue 5. Right before Penubian showed up with that mechanical trio. I'm taking him out of that and keeping Sakura in there because, see, with Sakura there was a payoff with her because she's now in the, amongst the kids and everything. Pretty much hanging around him and stuff, and about to help him with the battle with Penubian. Damon has kind of a different thing going here. He's going, his scene really does not have a payoff just yet in this particular arc, and I think it would be best suited to take him out, and then when I get to the second arc, when they're traveling to the next city, which is going to be called Elmer City, they will meet up with him there, and I got a very big plan with his introduction, which is also going to put Julie in the spotlight as well. Yeah, she's going to have quite a bit of a spotlight. I might give a little bit more on that. Yeah, after I explain what we're about to talk about here, I'll give y'all a little sneak sample of that there. Along with a few other things that I have in mind to come up. So, anyway, so there's that. Then, of course, Julie helps Hiko with focusing his powers and everything. And as you saw at the end of issue 7, Naomi ended up at the hospital because she overtrained. Got a little bit into that. Hiko sat with her by her bedside at the hospital and everything, and we got a little bit of a bonding there. So yeah, you think everything seems like it's gonna be easy peasy, aside from this battle with Penubian. Well, we have a brief little mountain to cross here. A bit of a love triangle about to come up in issue number 8. Hiko's triangular dilemma of love. That's the name of the issue of issue 8. Yeah, it's gonna be that. So you recall in issue 7, Hiko mentioned that he knew Sakura. He had seen her in what he mentioned was an archery tournament. I think that's probably, now if I said something different in the last video for issue 7, probably was something like her being on as a movie star, Secrets of the Tiger Bow. If I did say that, just clarifying, it has changed to her being in a tournament. So just letting you know, if you heard something different in issue 7, just be advised, between that video and this one, it has changed to an archery tournament that he saw on TV where that Sakura won. And the reason why, because I thought the movie angle might be a bit much there. So I figured it might be a little bit more, kind of bring it down a little bit to an archery tournament. Especially the fact that the movie was talking about Secrets of the Tiger Bow. So yeah, I figured her weapon, the tiger bow, should be a little bit more mysterious there, you know. Not too known, which is the whole thing of, you know, her searching for the meaning of the weapon there. So anywho, so we go in, we pick up right, somewhat right where we left off. Originally I was going to have Penubian pop up in Hiko and Naomi's dream, since they were somewhat dreaming together, you know, overnight, and I was going to, and they said Penubian is watching them. That's going to be changed. Penubian is watching them, but not in their dream per se. He's not going to invade their dream or anything like that. There's, because I got something else that's going to happen, but he is going to show up in this issue now. So there will be that. What happens is, scene opens, Naomi wakes up, and Hiko's not there. So after asking where is Hiko, Hiko shows up in a blue tux and a suit. Blue suit and a tux. You know, the blue ensemble. So they greet each other, and there's kind of a little bit of a humorous greeting. She runs up, saying, Hiko, Hiko, Hiko. And he sort of playfully says, but like, Naomi. She's like, don't do that. And he's like, well, I'm joking with you because you said my name 3 times. This is actually, this excitement that's going on is actually something I've seen with the TikToker Nicole. As you probably saw in one of the trailers that I made, and also kind of mentioned about with it, I think in unboxing, she unboxed a couple of things from there. So this is kind of what I've observed in some of her videos on TikTok. Her excitement with opening packages and stuff like that, and what she calls stimming, how she does that to really express her emotions, especially happiness. You know, like I love packages. It's a fancy bag. And granted, I'm not doing. And just to clarify, I'm not doing this to make fun of her. I'm just sharing how she does it to clarify how I've written the character Naomi, and that type. It is kind of charming. Yeah. So just to clarify that, because there are some people that are kind of mean on TikTok, and she has blocked them. She has blocked them. She has a really, and I really like how she, how, you know, she's able to brush stuff like that off. Real strong with brushing off stuff like that. Not very fragile to that. So that I give Nicole a lot of credit for that, because I know that's not easy. You know, somebody go making fun of you, and Just saying, it's not easy to. It's not always easy to brush some like off for a lot of people there. So, props to you, Nicole, for doing that there. If you're hearing this video, and like I say, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of these people that's trying to call her different things. Stop it, okay? Let's just stop it, because it's not cool. All right. So anyway, now that I made that, now I've made y'all aware of that. So Hiko mentions that he got something for Naomi, and he uses his magic powers to change what she's wearing into a pink dress with magic shoes. And of course, she expresses that same excitement that I told y'all Nicole would do when she opens a package there. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Thank you so much. And asks her out to breakfast there. So he holds her, and when she accepts, he holds Naomi's hand and makes a portal that takes them right to the spring rise where they had breakfast at in issue number 6 there. Sort of like one of those portals that Doctor Strange opens in his movies. I'm Dr. Stephen Strange. I need you to come with me. Yep, so there's that. This whole date thing and her in the pink dress and all that, this is actually from one of my journals that I went back in high school. Had a crush on a particular girl, not gonna say her name. Ooh, excuse me, I'm so sorry about that. So, very inappropriate timing. Okay. Anywho, so, yeah, it was a girl back then. I had a crush, I was like 14. And there was a lot of daydreaming entries I wrote in the journal, which is why you hear about Hiko daydreaming like it does, and also those daydreaming trailers that I've made. So yeah, it's a lot of that is based off of, back then, and not just with this particular girl back then, but it was a few others off and on in high school, and then even before high school there. But it was high school where I wrote, whereas a lot of it is written down in journals and stuff like that. So they get to the spring rise, make that order. I actually asked Casey, since Naomi is a character that she's made there, much like Julie, Tim, and Melina, and Julius, who's going to be coming up soon. Some of y'all probably seen him in one of the trailers I made. I asked Case, what kind of things would Naomi eat for breakfast there? And two things Casey brought up right off the top of her head was either Cheerios or Rice Krispie treats. Tell you what, I go for that myself, especially the Rice Krispie treats. Can't go wrong with that one. Snap, crackle, pop. So Naomi's like, well, I can't decide between these two. Server offers to mix the cereals together. She also orders some apple juice to go with it. Hiko also gets some Rice Krispies, but mixed with Oreo O's. Since the Yumeko series begins in 1999, leading into 2000, the summer of 1999, much like the Star Striker 2000 series will. And during that time, Oreo O's was a thing, especially leading into my middle school days. Oreo O's, and a very good cereal, and I think we've gotten it back at the moment. I can say it, because I have a box in the cabinet in the kitchen. So, but yeah, it was kind of big and new in 1999. So, definitely Oreo O's for me. For my character. So as the orders are being prepared, Hiko compliments how adorable he finds her smile and how cute it makes her look and lovely, like a beautiful. By the way, Naomi, I really find your smile adorably cute. it makes you look like a lovely and beautiful flower in the garden. And Naomi really blushes and giggles like, thank you. And you're really kind. Like a handsome gentleman. And then some romantic music plays. Slow romantic music. And Hiko asks her to dance before the breakfast arrives. So she accepts, and of course, and the dancing and of course, there's gonna be deep gaze into the eye. Almost reminds me of the bum when he be bouncing, but when he be trying to do two different people in his videos and jump cuts. So blushing and gazing and smiling, and out of the blue, the minute Hiko blinks slowly and he opens his eyes, he sees Sakura instead of Naomi. Jumps back like, whoa, what? Sakura, what are you doing here? And Sakura's like, finishing the dance. And she pulls Hiko toward her, putting his arm back around her, and they're about to lean in for a kiss, and then it's revealed that Hiko's been dreaming this whole thing. And he looks around. Naomi's still, asleep in the hospital bed, because he was sitting by the bed, sort of like when you go see somebody, sort of like when you're seeing your friend or something in the hospital, by the bedside there. And he wonders what is he gonna do, because that dream is sort of a realization that he's having a bit of a mental dilemma between Sakura and Naomi, and you're wondering, well, wait, where did this suddenly come from? And the dude, he mentions that he really likes Naomi, but since Sakura showed up, he's not so sure. A flashback comes to when he saw Sakura in the archery tournament, and after the tournament, he wrote a letter to her that night. This was back when Hiko was in the 3rd grade, before he met Naomi. So he didn't know Naomi back then. He wrote a letter to the place where the archery contest was being held to Sakura. This is sort of him having a crush on her back in 3rd grade is also, I'll mention it again. If I've already I'll mention it again. I'm saying it again now. Reference to when I was in 3rd grade and had a crush on Mara Wilson back then as her Matilda character. Because granted, I did not know her name was Mara Wilson. I just knew her by Matilda back then. Yeah, when both of us were kids. Yeah, so and much like back then. After writing the letter, Hiko had a dream back then of meeting Sakura at the R-Mart grocery store, which is pretty much their version of Kroger and Walmart put together, kind of. And then they rode their bikes around the area and had dinner at the Burger Port, kind of like their Burger King McDonald's, kind of. So, yeah, now you see why he kind of has this mental dilemma there. And yeah, back then, back in the 3rd grade, of course, during the time I had a crush on Mara Wilson, I had a dream that I actually met up with her character Matilda at a Brookshire's, and we was on bicycles, and the last thing that Mara said to me in the dream was, I'm gonna meet you at the gym tomorrow. I woke up, and the gym, and see, back then at the gym, they had this little area where you could leave your kids at, and while the parents, went off to the gym and did their workout. And they also had a thing, and eventually they did also have like a junior gym for the kids, so we could get a little workout too and a little training. Yeah, we had that going there back then. pretty good times, you know. So this is what was meant by that. When I woke up back then, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I ran into my mom's room, and I was like, Mom. She's like, what is it, Gabe? I said, Mom, Matilda said she gonna meet me at the gym tomorrow. Okay, that's good. Okay, now go back to sleep. So you can meet her then. Oh boy. At least that incident wasn't. Well, nah, I ain't gonna go. No, I ain't gonna go. I ain't gonna go with it though. And don't ask me. Don't ask me. I ain't gonna say it. So anywho, focus on what this was referenced from. So then, Naomi, Hiko, he gets ready to, head out of the room for a second. Naomi is kind of half asleep. Like, where are you going? Like, it's fine. I'm just going out to get some fresh air. I'll be right back. So he goes on out the room, and there's a little joke that plays as Hiko walks down the hall, sort of a Three Stooges reference. And no, the Three Stooges are not going to show up hitting each other in the head. The reference is, if any of y'all have watched the Three Stooges, you ever seen any hospital episode or any episode involving them at the hospital or the doctor, and you'll hear Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard. They even played that in a Weird Al video once, when he did the song Like a Surgeon there. So I took my own spin on that, and this was a joke I made on my job at Kroger, because my name is of course Gabriel Johnson. We have a manager whose last name is Johnson, the head manager, and of course a night manager. Well, actually, no. The head manager's last name is Smith. The night manager's last name is Johnson. So this made me think of this joke. Dr. Johnson, Dr. Smith, Dr. Johnson. And I put that in here as he goes walking down the hall. The nurse says on the intercom, Dr. Johnson, Dr. Smith, Dr. Johnson. So after going down the hall and hearing that little joke, Hiko is greeted by Sakura. Asks him, is everything okay with Naomi? And he mentions, she's just resting a little bit, from all the training. Brownie just so happens to enter from a distance, and he ducks behind a nearby vending machine to kind of listen to what's going on. Kind of a little spying. Hiko's like, can I ask Sakura to talk to her in private? And Sakura's like, okay, sure. And Brownie's like, what's going on here? And he noticed, and the reason why Brownie asks this and is a little suspicious, because he noticed Hiko doesn't do this, but Sakura just randomly takes Hiko's hand as they walk toward the exit out. And Brownie's like, what? In his mind, because he's thinking like, wait a minute, but I thought Hiko and Naomi, and now you see, what is going on here? He would, like how he would freak out and Brownie reaction. What is going on? So, he's about to follow them, and suddenly Melina stops him in her normal cheery way, and asks, where's Naomi's room, because she wants to, check to make sure how she's doing. Brownie tells her down the hall, 205 to the left. At least he didn't say that haunted room Samuel Jackson said not to go in at the hotel. Don't go in that room! Oh boy. So Melina goes down to the room and everything, and skipping merrily, la 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 la. Brownie races after Hiko and Sakura. Once Melina gets to Naomi's room, she takes a moment to look at the door, and suddenly has an evil grin with a sinister laugh. We're getting to that. Meanwhile, Hiko and Sakura are outside the hospital on a nearby bench talking. So Brownie arrives. He's listening in. So they get ready to talk. Hiko says, "I don't want to sound weird or crazy or freak you out, but when I saw you in the archery tournament 3 years ago, I sort of, and Sakura finishes like, "Are you trying to say you had a crush on me?" Yeah. So, and I wrote, and he mentions about the letter he wrote. Sakura actually has the letter in her shirt pocket. He goes like, "You actually got the letter? I didn't think you ever got it because I didn't get a reply back for months." And Sakura said, "Well, a lot had happened since she got the letter. She just held on to it in case she, maybe one day in the future did see Hiko, which she sees him now." But still, a lot was going on at that moment there. And so he also mentioned, well, it's a good point. A lot has happened and changed. A lot on my end has kind of happened and changed since then. So I kind of figured that since I saw you here. Hiko then asks Sakura, does she have a crush on him? Brownie even more shocked. What? Accidentally out loud. They're like, wait, what was that? And just before they can go look to see where Brownie's at, suddenly there's some screams in the city, and it's the monster turtle along with Paper Eater and Space Bite. The Nubian's back. So Sakura and Hiko, they get ready for battle. Brownie suits up in his battle suit and stands in front of Hiko and Sakura. Speaking of battle suit, I'm actually changing Brownie's battle suit. Now, if y'all remember a previous video, I showed y'all a kind of a really hunky robot, electronics and stuff like that. It was moving. Hang on one second there. Okay, so yeah, remember I showed you this robot. He had the little electronics and everything. I'll check which video it was. If y'all want to go back and see it, just to see this guy, and put the link in the description. I'll try to remember to do that. I think I mentioned that in one video about putting a link to something and I forgot to do it. So I'll try to remember to do that. But anyway, Brownie's still gonna have this battle suit, but there's gonna be a different one he'll have at the moment for the first of the series. That's a little bit more streamlined and sleek. It's gonna be sort of similar to Gundam design, like the Gundam robots. And this would be more like something that maybe he would, have later for like maybe maybe things start to escalate a little bit more. Sort of like how you went from Tony from the regular Iron Man suit to the Hulkbuster unit. So this is kind of like a Hulkbuster size thing here. So Brownie shows up. Three of them, they're wondering, wait, how long have you been there, Brownie? Brownie's like, hey, that don't matter. We got a situation here. Melina shows up out of nowhere instead of a Nubian, and actually has the machines, the turtles, Paper Eater, Space Bite, has them to stop. And they're like, wait, how did you do that? And Melina's like, it's magic. It doesn't have to be explained. Like, and what did you do to Naomi? Because they realize Melina is holding Naomi, and Naomi is unconscious. Yeah, 'cause remember last I just mentioned her. She was, she was just asleep, but still, kind of too, because she asked Hiko like, where you going and stuff like that, and just went back to sleep. But she's completely out of it here, and so turns out that's not Melina. It's Penubian in disguise, and he magically changes back. So, and Brownie realizes, so that was you that was asking me where Naomi was earlier, you diabolical crow. I'm a rooster, Mr. I'm not a puppy, I'm 21 years old, blah, blah, blah. Oh boy. Hiko still demands what he's done to Naomi. Penubian he's like, relax, little Prince Charming. I just put your cutie pie princess back to sleep. And if you accept my humblest request, there's a chance she might wake up and you two can live happily ever after. And he's at, sort of a magical sleep. So there might. I'm not completely sure yet. I kind of want to do this. I might. But there is a chance that, in the end of all this, that Hiko would probably wake Naomi up with the, as they say, the true love's first kiss, possibly. I'm just saying, it's a might. It's a strong maybe. Very strong maybe. Keep your fingers crossed. So Penubian then also tells them that he's gonna take I'm gonna take myself. Shut up, boy. So he's gonna take Naomi back to his hideout, which is in the mountains of the forest, and he wants he tells Sakura, Hiko, and Brownie that he wants them and all the rest of their friends, because at first it was gonna be just the three of them show up alone. But when you ask somebody to come along, and they got other people working with them, they're going to try to have their other pals sneak in some kind of way. Penubian probably knows this, so he's like, hey, all of y'all come. Because if I tell you just one or three, all of y'all still going to show up. So, yeah, all of y'all come. I'm going to be prepared for all of y'all. I'm ready, So... he says, bring all your friends there. He's going to have some maze and some obstacles and everything. And if you succeed, 4 of you will face me and my mechanical trio in the final fight. And if you win, Naomi returns to you. But if you lose, all of you will be sleeping permanently with her. Will be sleeping with her permanently, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and by sleeping permanently, I mean you're all gonna die. Yes, that kind of permanent sleep. And that's where I put to be continued. So when I go into issue 9, and might possibly I plan for 2 more issues to sort of wrap this up, but it might possibly be 9, 10, 11 to wrap it up, to finish the battle, and then they get ready to journey on to Elmer City, and of course after that's all finished, before continuing more of Yumeko, we're going to open up with Star Striker 2000, since the 2 series are happening simultaneously alongside each other. Star Trek 2000, as well as also wants to go back to Yumeko. Few of the plot lines that's going to occur when you go back in there. You're going to find out what's happening with Brownie's friends. Emily, Anna, Billy, Gerald, and Dashdale. The other plush toys. And also, they're going to be in space, still kind of wandering around in space thanks to that black hole. It's gonna be something that happens to them, or they end up having to get rescued by, of course, 2 other plush toy characters, which one of them is going to be Mr. Fluffles, Casey's little friend that that I mentioned about will appear in Yumeko. So that's pretty much where Mr. Fluffles will fit in there. Then of course with the Damon thing, and my intention was for him to be a rival of Hiko. He's actually gonna be more of a rival for Julie, and the reason to sort of give her a bit of spotlight, because you know these first issues, you know, dealing with the Barnhart art, we've had a lot of focus with Hiko, Brownie, and kind of Sakura and Naomi within there. There was a little bit of Julie, you know, with the you know, rescuing Hiko and Zayden, and then also like, okay, I'm gonna train you guys. But now we're gonna get a pretty much Julie focused, some issues pretty much focused with Julie when they come to Elmer City and have to deal with Damon and his little brother Darius. Then of course there's gonna be a story I probably mentioned in the previous video about this obsessed doll that comes to life and is obsessed with Hiko, which would give Naomi a spotlight because she would end up having to play a major role to help Hiko, and sort of revealing a little something special about her. And then of course, anyone of y'all have seen the trailer of Julius and Sadie. Yes, that will come eventually. Be one more thing to come after the whole thing with Julie and Naomi, with introducing a little sister with Hiko named Takari. I sort of have planned for Zayden to sort of have some spotlight in that particular series of issues, because Takari would kind of have a little crush on Zayden, which is sort of a reference to my friend that Zayden's based off of back in middle school. And I was like, hey, imagine DW liking you. He's like, man, stop trying to hook me up with DW from Arthur. Sort of a reference to that. So we get that, and then of course, like I mentioned, Julius and Sadie introduction. So there's a lot going there. Star Striker 2000 has a lot to go for. Like I said, I haven't, admittedly, yes, I've had more stuff coming to me with Yumeko lately, but you think after finishing this battle with Penubian, we will definitely put our minds to starting Star Trek 2000 off, and there are things I do have planned for it, especially dealing with other superheroes and even multiverse stuff. So yeah, there's quite a bit on both sides of it. It's just all a matter of putting it down and how and when things are going to happen in each one. So that's all I got with Rough Draft 8, as well as what to expect to come. So we'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to, if you like the video, definitely hit that like button. Talk about us with your friends, share it, subscribe, buy some of our available comic books that we already have out, and don't forget to support us on Patreon, as well as also our toy reviews, which I am now gonna go get ready for in this very same spot. Gonna go put the table here and the toys that I'm about to show. So you'll be hearing from me next time in my toy reviews, and a little bit, and later we will let you know what the next few issue rough drafts are for concluding the Barnhart arc. And just to clarify, once I finish the Barnhart arc, like when they defeat Penubian and everything, yes, I will kind of be working with Star Trek 2000, but I will be mainly illustrating what I've written so far for Yumeko. So that's kind of the new thing that I've started, because usually I would write one issue, illustrate it, and write another, and so on and so on. But this time I'm doing more than one issues then going back and of course I'm having them proofed. Yeah, they will be proofread, make sure they're, you know, everything's spelled right, stuff like that. And also, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. That and illustrating them by arcs, not so it's more. So I'm doing more than one rough drafts first to complete an arc, then illustrate, and so it'll be working with the arc of some, you know, of another, of another like Star Striker, for example, going back and forth, and still illustrating stuff with Bubblina. Yeah, it'll probably be a little bit later there. Probably a little bit later get to, if you find out. Yeah, Christina kind of has a little bit different, which is the way I used to do back with the old comic. But like I say, I kind of changed with these new comics I'm doing. But yeah, like I say, Christina's, you know, still going with, you know, the old way, because that's, you know, how she prefers it. Unless of course, you know, she changes her mind on her own. Yeah, I'm not gonna go and be like, oh, Christina, you should do it like I do. No. If she wants to change her way of doing it, yeah, you guys will know. you guys will know if she does. So it's gonna be up to her on her series there. So until then, we will see you later in the toy reviews, and a little bit later, next Yumeko rough draft. Take care.